Hello, everybody, and of course, I got to do the intro. Oh, what a day! I'm telling you what, guys. Hold on to your seats, everybody. Got to do it. There we go. Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Sunday night edition of Into the Night with me, your host, Ron Kelly. I want to thank you, PRN Talk Radio, 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7, for allowing me to give you my hour tonight, which I enjoy giving you guys my hour on Sunday nights and Tuesday nights. And what a show tonight. We got a real good show tonight. But before I introduce the guest, um, October is ADHD Awareness Month, and that's why you see the orange. Well, it got a double meaning. The orange. You got Halloween coming up, and then you also got ADHD awareness. And so, if you guys could just like Google ADHD and just read about it, there's a lot of people out there. Hey, Bill Rigby, how are you, sir? Mark Eddy, good to see you. Cindy Simpson, hello. And Miss Stony Hobbit, my girl. Welcome. Welcome to the show. We got a great show tonight. But, just check out ADHD and read about it because there's a lot of people that have it, don't realize that they do. But so what I want to do is last night we had an investigation up in Conneaut, PA. And in fact, we actually had two. And I got the ladies who were there that last night, and it's going to be interesting. I got Rhonda, who's from the Aurora Paranormal Society group, and then we got Miss Jackie Cern, who was a guest at our investigation, and we're going to talk all about it tonight. So here they are. Well, they've been busy drinking coffee and the great donuts I have been sitting in the green room for them. So, yeah, I think they're ready to come on. Without further ado, here is Miss Rhonda, and here
Hello.
is Miss Jackie. Hello, girls. How are you?
Hey,
Hi.
pretty
What a
good.
night last night, huh?
Well, it was
Seriously.
night before last, but
Well, Friday night, was it?
yep,
Yeah, it
it was
was
Friday
Friday
night.
night. Sorry, guys. Friday night.
It's okay. It was a
And
long night.
It was
yeah, it was a very long night.
yeah, it
So,
was.
it was a pretty interesting investigation. I mean, for how small the building was. Okay.
Mhm.
And ladies and gentlemen, before I'm going to tell you first, I actually did fall forward and scratch my head, because I'm old and fat. That's what happened.
Oh, it was dark. It was
It
hard
was
to see.
dark too, but first I would like to bring on Jackie because it's the building that you work there, right, Jack?
Yes, I do.
Okay, uh, Miss Jackie Cern. Go ahead, ma'am. It's all yours.
I've been working there since around April.
What's the name of the
And
business, hon? I'm sorry. What's the
oh
name of
yeah,
the business?
I work at Sansa Ray's Boutique, which is very, very cute. They're coming up on their 1 year anniversary, and the full name is Sansa Ray's, which, by the way, is Native American. So that's kind of a cool spin on that. And so her and her husband are originally from Pittsburgh. He's a jeweler, and their names are Sauncey and Jim Cunningham. Wonderful bosses, and they're have become very good friends, like family to me. We're very close. So yeah, I really enjoy working there. I work there like 3 to 4 days a week. So I was very excited to be a guest in the investigation because I've definitely felt things since I've been working there. So yeah, the boutique
Oh,
is fun.
we were happy to have you, Miss Jackie.
Yeah,
Honest to
it
goodness,
was really it was exciting.
I'm glad to hear that. It was exciting. But Carrie Lynn Shellhorn, my girl, she is a host on the same network, UPRN Talk Radio, Friday nights, 6:10 to 8:10 p.m. I do believe that's Eastern. And she has a wonderful show. Very nice, down to earth. She got good guests on all the time, and I'm glad that she happened to pop in to my show tonight. Hello to you, Carrie Lynn. It's so good to see you. Hey, Heidi, how are you? Good to see you. I'm glad everybody's popping in now. Chasing the squirrel out of the garden. Be right back. Okay. Thank you, Carrie Lynn, for sharing it. So, Rhonda, what
Yes.
gave you the idea to go and investigate this place?
Well, the business association is looking to move events downtown in Conneaut. And so when I heard that, well, Jackie actually, I was at the business association meeting with her, and she had actually brought up the idea of a witch walk. I was like, yes. So once she did that, I thought, oh man, it would be really neat for us to be able to go down there to one of the businesses and do an investigation while they have the witch walk going on. So anyway, I talked to Jackie, and she talked to Sansaray and the people in the building, and everybody was open to it. So I said yes. So we were able to do that. So actually, this was all Jackie's initiation. Plus, I love Sansei Hare's boutique, and I shop there quite often. I'll
Yeah.
be stopping there tomorrow before I leave town.
Yeah. And we
And I
love
actually
you. We love you as a customer too, Rhonda.
Thank you. Well, I
Yeah.
met Jackie actually. She works at another place next door, another store, Lavender Blue on the Lake and Sansares. So I shop at both places. So I got to see Jackie double time.
Plus,
That's right.
you got a new paranormal investigator, which I think is really cool.
Yep.
Lauren Johnson says hello, Jackie.
Hi, Lauren. I'm glad you made it to watch. Yay.
Yeah. Hey, welcome. So, Jackie, when
Yes.
you saw us walking in with the equipment, what was the very first thought that you had
Honestly,
about the
to
group
have
coming in?
watched things on a show and then to see it, the actual investigators and the equipment, you know what I thought? Very professional was my first impression. And then of course excited. But yeah, I thought very professional. Like
Yes.
there's something's going to I just knew something was going to come up that night. So
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
So you're a witch, correct? Or what were you describing Friday night?
I'm going to tell you, I am part gypsy, Irish gypsy. So, um, but I've really opened up to my. Always had lucid dreaming, but I have really opened up as far as like doing some readings for people, and just to the spiritual world. And I would just say like I'm eclectic, um, because of my background of as in who I am. That's where I started first. And so yeah, I do delve into, different aspects of witchcraft. Yes, I do. I practice the craft.
You're
Um,
allowed to say that on my show because
yeah, thank you. Thank
this
you.
is
I
on
mean,
radio. Okay.
living, it's like time that I live authentically. And so, yes,
Hey, Michelle.
yeah. And so, I've I have definitely felt a lot. I mean, we live by a lake, that's what the
Mhm.
spirits use. And so I have tons of activity where I live and stuff, but they're welcome here as long as, they don't cause any harm to me or my
Hmm.
pets. But that's a lot of study and research I've done as far as protection and etc. So, but yes, I do live my life every day. I try to incorporate it. So,
Ah, that's awesome. Now, to you, Rhonda,
Yes.
what gave you, well, you started Aurora. Is that what it's called? Aurora?
Well, it's okay, Sean. I'll forgive you this time. It's Aura, but that's okay.
Aura. Okay. Okay. It's called
But
old age.
that's all right. I've known you long enough. I give you grace.
he
But
did hit his
yes,
he did hit his head the other night. He did,
I
yes, I
did.
know.
Yes, I did. I did hit my head yesterday, Friday night.
Good
Actually,
word.
it's our Paranormal of Pittsburgh, and I kind of picked the name out because back then when we first started, which was quite a while ago, actually. I was thinking of the listing in the phone book, and I said we got to pick something with A because then we'll be up there at the top. So
That's right.
Okay. And what was your, um, what's the word I'm trying to think? What is your, what did you expect when we got there that night? What were you expecting, hoping, that kind of stuff?
Well, at first, I kind of thought the activity was going to be very light, if any. I know that I'd spoke with Jackie, and I knew there was a little bit of activity in the hallway. But other than that, I didn't really think we were going to, because the building's smaller, you know what I mean? And we was
Hmm.
only in the one business in the hallway and in the back. So I thought, oh, we'll pick up some light stuff. But I didn't realize we were going to pick up as much as we did there in that short
Right.
amount of time.
Sean Henry says, "Hi Jackie, I don't know you, but Lauren was saying she was watching, so I joined her in watching. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
popping
Thanks
in,
for
Sean.
joining. Thank
Appreciate
you.
you
We
coming
appreciate it.
in. And Miss Rhonda, what
Yes.
what was the equipment you actually brought with you?
Oh, let me think. Because that was, like I said, that was a long night. Actually, after we left the business, we went and did a private residence by the lakefront. So, and we were there till pretty late. And then you drove home, unbelievably. Um,
Yes, I did. Hmm.
but we used the thermal imaging. We used an SB box. We used an SB7. We used GoPro. Um, Trying to think. Oh, we had a laser grid up there on the wall. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Trying to think what else. We had quite a few different things there, and I know Shelly had some things.
I
But like
know.
I said,
I mean, we were
oh,
decked out.
REM
We
pod.
were all covered. A
Yeah,
rent pod. Yeah.
we had the REM pod up there too. I almost forgot about that one.
What were
Uh,
those little cat toy
oh
things?
yeah, the
Oh,
cat
cat
ball.
balls. Cat
Yeah,
balls.
yeah. See, yeah,
I
and
love
what's
it.
crazy is that actually too, um, me and Shelly had been talking. Shelly's not here tonight. She's the founder of Our Paranormal, and I'm the co-founder. And she's also an assistant director of nursing, so she got called into work tonight, or she would have been here too. Um, me and her discussed getting a portal box, and I went to see the prices of it, and that's crazy. I watched a YouTube video. I said, I can do it myself. So Shelly ordered everything. They sent it here, and the reverb pedal was bad because we would have had the Echo box that night too, and that would have been neat as heck. But we're going to
Hmm.
do that next time. We have everything. We just got to get the pedal. Um, but yeah, we used different equipment that night. But normally, what we'll do, Jackie, when we go in, is we actually have a camera system with cameras we place in different rooms. But
Okay.
since it was small and we didn't want to have to hold, that open all night,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't use that. So
Maybe next
And
time.
oh,
yes,
oh, no doubt. Yeah, definitely next time for doing something like that. But
Right.
ladies and gentlemen, everybody in my chat room. Oh, Monica Morgan, she says hello,
That's
Jackie.
my sister. Hi,
Hi,
Monica.
sister. Thank you for popping in.
Thank you.
But I tell you what, people, my angels that are in here, I was really, really impressed with Rhonda. Now, I did investigate with her, and a long time ago, and I taught Shelley everything she knows, as she claims, But you know what? I have to tell you, I was impressed. I was impressed with you and Shelley, Rhonda.
Thank you.
I don't know. It's something that I see in every paranormal investigator, um, how they go by doing their investigations. And like Jackie said, it was very, very professional. And I totally agree with that. Um, we did got a lot of good evidence, you know, and right now we don't have it up. And Shelley, I believe, has not listened. Oh, we had the EVP going too.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
so it was like we really don't have the evidence to show you guys that we caught. Um, but I will tell you this: there was a lot of what can I say? Personal things that happened to people. Um, we would ask it to knock on the wall like that, and it would knock, or it would make noises. Um, and whatever we told it to do, basically it did. Okay, what I use it, on my phone is called necrophonics, and it's just like that thing that you were going to build, um,
Yeah, the portal box.
the portal box, but mine's
Mhm.
called and everyone should get it. Um, and we turned that on, and I'm telling you what, ladies and gentlemen, um, that is the neatest thing in the world to have. Just start it up, and you can actually hear spirits talking through it that were in the room. Now, we did ask a lot of questions to make sure it just wasn't the app itself, but we got some very, very good, intelligent answers back from it. Um, and all of a sudden, during the investigation, when we were there, it never fails. Um, when I'm in the room with people with the equipment, nothing happens, and it's the truth. You can ask anybody, however I investigated with, nothing happens. But once when I left the room, I heard my phone going on. You know, I mean, they were just started talking, and I don't know what it is about my energy, and I'm not being egotistical when I talk about this, but it happens no matter where I go. In any investigation, I have to leave the house or wherever I'm at, and so people could get evidence with people. Yes, absolutely. And I guess it happened because they it got to the point where there's like 5 or 6 different voices going. You know, spirits that were actually doing the talking, and I know one was Mexican. Yes, because we kept hearing Mexican voices, the Mexican voice. He was saying he was speaking in Mexican. And I thought that was pretty cool. But there was one gentleman in there who really, really, what was his name? Edward?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was Edward. And
Yes.
let me go to Jackie about Edward. You want to share a little bit on that, Jackie, on who he is?
So I think he's the main person, the main spirit that kind of resides there. I believe he's up on that balcony where the paintings
Right.
are, and that's just storage up there. And there was a child. I kept hearing a child's voice,
Too.
so I asked, and the child's voice, his name was Ian, and then Edward respond. I said, Edward, are you in control of who's in control of the child? And it was Edward.
Yeah.
Hmm. Heard
So
that with our ears. Yeah.
Oh,
And then
yes.
and then remember we heard the footsteps too. That was
Hmm.
coming down from the upstairs, and we were sitting right there.
Right.
Hmm.
Yes.
And the shadow in the hallway.
I really felt we were fairly surrounded there at the table.
Oh yeah.
Personally, that's what I felt like. So, I felt like they knew you guys were coming probably a couple days before.
Oh,
Mhm.
no doubt.
That's just my, how I felt, because I get nervous when a lot of the spirits are around. I just,
Mhm.
that's how I always kind of respond with that. And so, nervous, excited. And so, that's how I was feeling. But yeah, I thought there was definitely more spirits than I thought, but it did confirm a few for me. So that was pretty, exciting, but I'm pretty sure Edward's in charge.
Well, I have to
Okay.
tell you that it's very active there because when we left there and we went to do the private home investigation, we heard maybe what was it, Sean? Maybe we was hearing kids totally
Yes.
on that one, except for one or two adults. But
Hmm.
when we were over at you guys' place, like
Hmm.
there was so many, and like you said, when we were sitting there, I could this. I know I'm going to sound crazy here in a minute, but we could actually feel the coldness and feel like tingling, like somebody was trying to enter us, like all of us at the table.
Right.
So like
I
we
felt
like
like they were trying to just like sit at the table with us,
yes,
trying
yes,
to,
yes.
um, because that's how I always deal with spirit, is
Mhm.
like, hey, um, as long as, there's no harm or whatever. That's how I talk
Right,
to them, basically, like, come, have a seat.
Hmm.
right.
Thank you, of course, thank them for the time. When you guys left, I did thank them for
Oh,
sharing.
good.
They would share their space with us, and
That's a
that
good thing.
they talked with us so much. I thought that was amazing.
Well, it was good because there was nothing. Everything there was positive. There
Yes.
was
Yes,
no
yes.
negative
Yep.
spirits. No
No,
negative spirits.
no,
Everything
I
was
work on that, but
yeah.
But I believe that because usually when I walk into a building, I could tell if it's going to be a happy one or a bad one. And
uh-huh.
the minute
Oh,
I
for sure.
walked in, when I walked into the store, it was going to be a happy one. Anybody out here in the chat room, feel free to ask us any questions you want. Um, we would like to answer your questions if you would like to ask one. That would be pretty cool. Um, so, besides me falling, I had a great time. I had a great time. And
Oh, yeah, that was.
oh God, I felt bad for the floor when I fell. It was terrible. I think I put a.
We felt bad for you. I wasn't sure what was going on when
All
I
I
looked
know
through the
is that
hallway,
I
and there
felt bad
is.
for that. Well, I thought I scared. I maybe I scared your neighbor because I mean, when my head hit that wall, it really hit that wall. You know what I mean? It was terrible. You know, I was like,
Oh my
oh my.
goodness.
But thank God Shelly was a nurse. She was there.
Yes,
But
yes.
Yes,
I tell you what,
it was horrible.
I'm just getting too old to bend over and stuff like that. It's just not working out right. But personally, me when doing the investigation, I did have a lot of fun. I did feel a lot of spirits around there. You know,
Well, there was a definite confirmation for me of the spirit in the hallway.
Hmm.
oh, there is. Okay, you want to share it?
Now you felt, well. I just always tell people, he just goes and checks the doors, like he just, because
Hmm.
there's apartments down there. There's some residents, and this hallway just goes to the back of the building. There's like some antique furniture in the hallway, and then down closer to the entrance there are two apartments right across from each other. And I always feel there's a man that just like checks on them, keeps an eye on them. And you mentioned that you thought possibly a guardian,
Hmm.
a type of spirit that's looking out. So
Right.
I thought that was awesome. That was,
Hmm.
Thank
on
you.
point for me.
Um, yeah, I was, and Jackie, I have to admit, I was impressed with you on what you had to share at the investigation too.
Oh, thank you.
Um, and of course, Rhonda. I mean, Rhonda's
Yes.
a little like bottle bottle of dynamite and stuff.
Yes.
Like like nitroglycerin, man. Get her
Yes,
going, man.
that's why I love her.
If
It was
I would have to pull an animal totem card out for Rhonda, I mean, it would be the
Uh,
mouse, a mouse. Um,
oh
the
no, I
reason,
never thought of myself as a mouse for sure.
well, no, you scrutinize every little detail, man. That's what the mouse is all about. Scrutinizing.
yes, they're
Hey,
not to
Kason, good
be.
to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, me and Jackie, we connected, and Saucy too. I mean, because she's awesome.
Yes. Yes. Oh,
And
yes.
we connected like right away. And here's the crazy part with me and Swansea. Like I went in there as a customer, because I like what she carries in there, and started shopping. And it was probably maybe my fourth shopping trip there that we actually started to talk. And I told her that I lost my son, and she also lost a son. And it was like, sometimes when you meet people, you find out you have connections in different ways, you know
Mhm.
Absolutely.
and so and there's good energy in there, and always has been since I've went in there. And it's the people in there, and it's the building itself, and now we see it's the spirits too. So
That was another confirmation. Remember, I asked him
mm,
if he does come and spend time with us in the store, and he said yes,
oh, cool.
because I have felt him around. So,
Mhm.
and
Now,
yeah, I think it's like it is, a combined um, effort. It's all the people there, the other businesses also. You know, um, it's that mutual respect
Right.
and how we all work together, and I think look out for each other and take care of each other.
Yeah.
and yeah, and I probably got it, no doubt that y'all do. Um, the energy that I felt in all the stores or in that building, honest to God, ladies and gentlemen, it was just like, wow. I'm
Mhm.
being serious when I say this. It was just like honest paradise. It was like a big jump from the outside world, which is crazy. But when I stepped into this building, it was like peace. Like I didn't know what was going on the outside.
It's a peaceful realm.
Hmm.
I think it's
And
another realm. I mean, that's how I feel. I, get excited to go to work just
mhm.
because. Hmm.
Oh, I wish
So I'd agree. I
I
agree with
wish
that.
I had a nice peaceful place to go to work, but it just doesn't happen.
Well,
I'm
I have to tell
working.
you, for the most part, Conneaut Lake in general, it's always been, because I live in West Mifflin, and I have properties and stores down in Washington County, and I also have properties up here in Conneaut Lake. But this is my place I come to for peace. Like back home, I'll hear sirens and this, that, and the other. And when I come here, I don't hear all of that noise. So I can come up here and relax and then go back home.
Does
So.
Right.
anyone have any questions? Heidi, Michelle, anybody have any questions for our little panel here tonight? I would truly appreciate if you guys would like to ask us some questions. Um, but yes, I don't know. I just had a great time. And so, Jackie, let me ask you this question. So
Sure.
you watch the paranormal shows. Hey, Stony, there's Stony.
Hmm.
Stony's my girl. But let me ask you this question. What is your feeling on the paranormal shows on TV?
Um,
You can be honest.
I
Don't
tend
don't
to
hold back.
focus on, well, I kind of tend to focus on the medium that's
Mhm.
actually, and that's where I came to know Jim Hunt from Canada. I think he's phenomenal. It was a silly, fun show on Amazon Prime called Knock Knock Ghost. And why I watch them is it helps me in learning how to deal with spirit,
Hmm.
because as we know, it's not always, rainbows and sunshine.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And
Hmm.
I have had where they try to wake me up in the middle of the night, they tap me on my head, they make noises. I've had things knock at the front door. Okay. And so I learned from that how to forcefully and tactfully remove and tell things they're not welcome.
Mhm.
And
Hmm.
I have done that, not at Sauncey's, but at another store. I have.
Okay.
So that's for me. Um, some of them, I guess, you know, they seem a little scripted, maybe, or
Mhm.
something like that. But I just always try to have an open mind, and I learn, from that and stuff.
Well, I'm
So,
glad that you did learn.
hmm.
We have a question, ladies. This is
Oh,
going to go to the both of y'all. Have any of you ever been frightened or scared during an investigation? We'll go with Rhonda first.
Oh, let me see. Um, as far as scared, I've had, hello? I've had something happen to me at home opposed to paranormal investigations, but I think I scared myself actually because what happened, I started when my antique store, I actually met Sean um, through my antique store. His group came out with CBS Radio, which was Shelly. She used to be in his group, and they came out to do an investigation. And what had happened in my store the day they were there, Shelly went upstairs to put her equipment in what we call Clara's room, where the previous owner had died. And while she was hooking up the equipment and everything, and all the radio listeners and Bubba and Shelly and them was all downstairs, I was standing against the wall. Shelly was by the doorway by the dresser, and she was setting the equipment up. And I felt like all of a sudden I felt ice cold, and my back's against the wall, and I'm like, what the heck? And then I felt arms go around my waist. Now listen, I went to tell her to help me because it scared the living shit out of me.
Hmm.
And I couldn't talk. When people say, "Oh, I was so scared, I couldn't talk, I couldn't move," that's where I was. So finally, when the hands lifted off my waist, I told her my exact words, "I'm getting the hell out of here. Something just put its hands on me." So I went downstairs in my office and I'm kind of shook and I'm walking around thinking, what just happened? And as I did that, the one psychic that they brought to the store with them, there was Chuck and there was a woman. She comes over to me and she says, "Don't worry, hon." She said, "Don't be afraid because it was just Clara. She didn't mean to scare you. She's just glad you brought us here to validate her presence because she's getting acknowledged more in her death than she did in her life." So now I'm even more shook. So then
Right.
she handed me kind of a necklace with volcanic ash in it, and she said, "Wear this, and then they can't come real close to you."
hmm.
And I'm like, I'm really like out in left field right now because now she just validated. Shelly's upstairs. Her phone's in my office. I know them two couldn't have communicated. So I'm like, okay, this is getting crazy. But later on, after that was all said and done, I started going places. And it was weird. I went in this one bar restaurant and I went to sit down, and the waitress came over and I said, "Excuse me, but I have to ask you a question." I said, um, "There's a man that he's about in his late 30s, early 40s that walks through here, and he goes through that back door all the time. He comes in and out." And she said, "Can you wait a minute?" She went back in the kitchen. She comes back out. Here comes the owner. She sits down at our table. It's me and Tim. My husband's freaked because he was like, "Don't start this again." But she sat down and she said, "Why did you ask my waitress that question?" And I explained everything to her. And she said, "Well, you're not going to believe this." She said, "But you're 100% accurate. And we've seen him in full form. It was a previous owner that passed away. And that door that you're talking about, that was his office." So I asked if I could get up and she would take me over there. And she did. Now, all of a sudden, I'm having things happening. And it got so intense that um, the Washington Observer at the time, one of the news reporters that was there, she's actually over with the Trib Review right now. But anyway, she wanted to go with me near Halloween to do a daytime investigation. So I went to this person's house. I can't say the name, but it was a cousin of a famous fighter or whatever. Well, anyway, I did a walkthrough investigation, me and Shelly, and I told her about every spirit that was in that house, where they was, if whether it was a man, woman, or child, everything. So then after I did the walkthrough, I sit down with the owner and the news reporter, and the owner says, looks at the news report and says, "You're not going to believe this." She keyed in on every one because we
Wow.
know we've seen some of them, and some we know we have the historical thing. So what I'm saying is, it was like when I got touched at the store. When I explain it to people, doors open.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But after my and the deeper you get in, the more that's going to happen. So
Right.
at this point, I felt like I could see and hear people that crossed over, and I didn't want that. And after my son died, I got numb, so I closed it all off.
Right.
But that happened from the investigation when your team, when Shelly had came out, was when that started. When I got that first hug.
Wow. I didn't know
Yeah,
that. I did not
yeah,
know that at all.
yeah,
That's interesting.
That's
That's
amazing.
very interesting.
yeah.
Jackie, what was the scariest thing that happened to you? I know you haven't been on investigations except for Friday night, but
Well,
what was the scariest thing that has happened to you?
okay. So for me in my dreaming, I have, but I feel it's fairly controlled as far as the negativity. Not that I don't have bizarre dreams or a lot of symbolism in it. Sorry, I can't say that. I fought demons in my dreams, and I'm not afraid. I mean, I choke them and do all kinds of crazy stuff. So,
Mhm.
anyways, but I worked at a state prison that used to be a college that's very haunted. And I would see mists and apparitions and just during like I think it was like an fire alarm went off and the doors were shutting. We had those like fire doors that would, close. There was a guy that was a rover in our building. I looked down, you could look all the way down all the hallways, and I was like waving at him. Like, I think just to tell him like I'm okay or I'm over here, because then we'd have to check and make sure there was no fire, obviously, fire or smoke, and then they could be reset. And all of a sudden he comes up the one stairwell into my floor, and I said, I just saw you down there at the end of the hallway. He's like, no, you didn't. That wasn't me. So, and several the inmates would always see him. A couple of us officers. It was a short man that ran. He was a jokester. He ran around the building. It was so bad. I mean, I actually had inmates like very scared, and of course we're concerned that the person in charge of the building, it's called a unit manager, they researched it, and there was actually a headstone dedicated to him that was still on the state property. He, I believe, had been a student at the college and died, and was like
Mhm.
very popular, very loved, very liked, or whatever. And so that was just one of the many kind of crazy things that happened to me when I was there. But I mean, that's where I literally saw a person in human form, but
Right.
it was not a person. So, but yeah, my dreams, people that have passed come to me and talk to me. Um, my father showed me how, he goes in between worlds and all kinds of pretty interesting, things and stuff. And sometimes I do dream about people, and it's a big thing I have is I dream about water and fish, and it means someone's pregnant, and that's the old wives' tale. So
Well, hell,
that's
you're
that's not
you're
scary. That's fun.
you're at Conneaut Lake. Come on. There's
No, I
water
mean
and there's
whether
fish.
I mean in the military, traveling all over the world and stuff.
Okay.
I've always
Okay.
dreamt that. I never knew what it meant until like later in life. So,
Okay.
but yeah, the
Okay.
demons in my dreams, and you know what I do? I light candles and just do my protection stuff.
That's
And
good.
so yeah, burn
Okay.
rosemary. You don't have to burn. You do not have to burn sage necessarily. That's more of
Can
a
you
Native
hold on one
American.
second on that? Hold on. We'll talk
Yeah.
about that. I wanted that was one of my questions for you.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Miss Stony Hobbit says Scarius was being held as a human pet, naked and in chains by a brown reptilian. That's an alien. The reptilians are aliens.
Yes.
I manifested a dagger and stabbed him in the thigh. Later
Yes.
discovering he was a child and his Mommy was around the corner. I'm always fighting, running, and protecting others.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally understand that, Stone, but man, I tell you what, someone's got to fight for you too. Um, and, even though you live all the way on the other side of the world, just call for my energy, man. I'll give it to you. Someone's got to watch after you. Kaysen says, is Rhonda a psychic? No readings tonight, brother. No. I'm sorry, Kaysen. No, not tonight. This isn't no psychic thingies. Not today. No psychic reading. Maybe if I have them on again, um, then maybe they might do a psychic readings. Get them on. Um, I know Jackie's a psychic. I know she's you know. Um, and Rhonda, you're psychic too, aren't you? Or an empath?
Yeah, yeah, but I try to, like I said, I try to keep that stuff on the down low.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, because
I
like I said before, you open doors and you get to a point where I don't think, I don't care who it is that can control what comes through. And so that's the scary part. You can open things up, but you don't have the knowledge or the ability to close things up. You're in trouble for a long time to come.
Yes, you have to know how to release the energy
Yes.
and
yeah.
call back your energy to yourself. Yes.
And
That
you know what,
makes
Sean?
it.
I just have to ask real quick, Jackie. Tell us about the. You said you had dreams after the investigation. Did it coincide
Yes.
with the investigation itself?
It was about demons.
Sorry,
It was very, I
I'm
mean,
not
it's so
laughing at
bizarre.
you.
I can tell you, but it's so, and I actually had this last night.
Mm-hmm.
A woman came to me and she said, I'm going to have you. It was almost like I was working in a building
Mm-hmm.
and definitely a different dimension. I felt like there were other beings there, not just humans. Like I don't know. I can't really explain that. I do believe in the, what are they called? The Centauri, the people of, I guess aliens, right?
Mm-hmm.
From
Yeah.
other planets.
Yes.
Okay. I've
Right.
seen them in my dreams also. Okay. But this woman came to me and she said, put on these headphones. And when you hear certain words, key words, they were like, I'm watching you. I'm getting ready to leave. I can literally remember a couple of phrases. She told me, she said, that's when a demon is coming and we have to relocate people. And it
Okay.
was a job. And I said, okay. And you know how a lot of them appeared as children first. And
Oh,
then,
really?
yes. And there was like
Well,
five or six different ones. And then it was like this team of other people came in and they would talk to me, but they wouldn't try to hurt me.
right.
Mm-hmm.
That was really bizarre.
Oh, that's not bizarre. I have a couple messages in here. Stone says combination Fruit Loop is me, and I'm happy. Have to be faster of mind than spiritual feet. Okay. Heidi says I'm very mindful and will always protect my energies,
Good.
which is a good thing. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think we
very
all
good.
have to do that.
Yeah,
We
sure.
all got to protect the energies that we have because that,
But really, you know what it is? Listen to your gut feeling.
oh
Yep.
yeah, the God said, don't listen to your brain because your brain take you every which way but loose. Where
Hmm.
your gut is like, no,
Right.
that ain't right. Um,
So that was
but
my
we're
dream last night. That was just a little weird that I thought maybe it was a show I watched or so. I don't, I do
Mhm.
think our conscious is influenced,
Oh
but
yeah.
Do you ever
it was
write down your dreams, Jackie? Do
always,
you
I
write
have,
them?
yes, I do. I've
You have
journaled my
journals?
dreams. Yep. For
Have
two
you
or
ever
3 years.
have you ever read them like the next day when you wake up, and do you try to
Yes.
figure out
Well,
what your
I've
dream was
dreamt,
about?
I've read them because I've some predictions. So yes,
Okay.
I've went back and read them. Yep.
All right, ladies, we are getting close. We got about 6 minutes left of the show tonight. Would you like to ask anybody out there real quick want to ask a question? I know, Kason, it's not a reading, but this is Sunday night. If it's Tuesday night, I'll do it. Don't you know I'm good for it. So I will tell you personally whenever we're going to have a reading show, but that's not going to be down. Okay, assuming Rhonda's a psychic, what do you think people who claim to read people just by their YouTube handles? Um, of
I
all,
personally, I personally think that spirit gives you information, and if they want that person to be fed that information, then it happens and it comes through. Um, and I've been to a lot of psychics myself, and some carry the label. You have to be careful. Some carry the label, but they're not really psychics. They're just trying
Right.
to make a dollar off of you. And I think the best
yep,
reading you'll ever get in life is from somebody who doesn't charge you a dime and somebody who wants to
Yep.
help you,
Yep.
because that's what it's all about. And with me, like I said, there's things that come to me and I can't explain it. I don't hear voices. Um, you know, it's just that the spirit brings things like, and the other thing is, if I'm not supposed to do something, like there's something I'm supposed to do tomorrow, but I feel that spirit doesn't want me to do it, listen, I'm
Right.
not doing it,
Right.
right.
because they're trying to tell me this is not the time, do not do it now. And I'll
Yep.
figure out later on why I wasn't supposed to do it then.
Right.
So
All I know is
Agree.
that last night I probably had to drive home after I was beat tired, and I'm driving home down 79, and this is a true story. So I'm driving down 79 and we get around Grove City. Yeah, outlets, Grove City outlets. And I'm driving down. I'm the only one on the road at the time. And honest to God, I saw somebody walk out in the middle of 79. I put on my brakes real hard. I mean, my horn was going. And what happened was, it wasn't a person, but it was a ghost. A ghost actually crossed in front of me on
wow.
79. Scared the bejeebers out of me. It really did, because it just popped out of nowhere. And I was like, okay, maybe I was supposed to see that on the way home. I'm not sure, but I had a lot of fun, girls, Friday night. I
We
really
did.
did. And it was so nice to see you, Jackie. And I'm sure that we all can keep in contact.
Sure. Of
It's
course.
very rarely do I get up to go to Conneaut, because I mean, coming up, starting November to January 1st, that's the busiest months for me at work.
Oh, I bet.
Uh, you got your turkeys, you got your hams, and then you got your pig. I don't know if it's at pork, everybody, but here in Pittsburgh, I don't know if they do it anywhere else, but it is a tradition to give good luck if you eat pork on New Year's Day. And
That's an
I know
that's an
we do it
Irish
here
thing.
in Pittsburgh. Is that not? I thought it was Polish. I'm sorry.
Irish. Yes.
But
Good luck. It brings good luck for the new year.
it whatever. I eat a hamburger because I'm tired of looking at pork. And every time I eat pork, I never had good
Sauerkraut.
luck.
It's sauerkraut. You got to do the
Oh, I
yeah.
got. Oh, no, no, no. Stony says she don't eat meat at all right, Stone.
I
Then you can
respect
just
that. I
eat
respect it.
sauerkraut. I
Yeah, just
respect that too.
sauerkraut. You don't have to eat
Just
any
eat
meat.
sauerkraut. You know.
Yeah.
But any last words before we go here? We got a minute left. Rhonda, do you have any last thing to say?
Well, I want to thank Sansi and Jackie for giving us the opportunity to go in there, because a lot of people, especially when you own a business, some people are funny, like, "Oh my God, you're letting those people go in there." Some people that's very religious on the opposite end. Now, I'm sorry if people don't understand this, but I do believe in God and Jesus, but I also believe in spirit. Um, and I
Agreed.
tell everybody that.
Right.
So, I mean, but some people are real weird about it. So I just thank them for giving us the opportunity to go in and do that. And I hope that we can go back in some other time. And I would also be open, and I know Jackie would one of these nights, if you would like to bring us in to read, your people that's in your chat group, we would be happy to do that.
Yeah, I've never, you know how I usually do it when the customers come in the store and
Mhm.
I ask spirit, what role do I play, with this
Mm.
person? And I always thank them for accepting the message. And that's how I generally do it. I do pull some cards, but I actually use a regular deck. I don't use tarot. That's just the gypsy way.
Mhm.
And I have never charged. And I would be glad to do it also, to help someone, of course.
Things to
Yeah,
say here,
yeah,
Jackie. I'm really happy. I'm really happy you girls came on. We got to do this again someday.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
Jason,
Thank you so much.
mhm. Pork
Thanks for
haggis, tastes
coming.
and eats. I've eaten pork haggis. Stony says, "Yep, fermented cabbage is always the best."
Perfect.
Heidi, much love to you and many hugs to you too. Joe,
Aw.
good to see you, buddy. Joe, I missed you, buddy. That's okay. We'll be on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And Stone says,
Blessings
"Thank
for
you
all.
all for
Blessings for
sharing
all.
space today. Much appreciation." What Monica says, "Love it. Thank you for the show."
Aw.
Children, if you can, please go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them,
That's right.
and give them a hug and tell them that you love them.
That's
And
right.
if you have nobody to give a hug to, like a parent or a child, find somebody to give them a hug
That's right. A
because those
neighbor,
three words,
anybody.
"I love you," go along. And on that note, goodbye. See you Tuesday
Good night.
night. Got another great show.
Blessings. Blessings for
And,
all. Blessings.
and come on. What happened?
I don't know.
I'm telling you.